Today I am going to plant a bare root rose that I received from the David Austin website. I ordered it directly from their online store. It is a little late in the year to be planting a bare root rose here in Phoenix. I do believe that the package was delayed maybe like a month or so, but it should be fine. It should do well. It'll just be maybe a little behind the others. So David Austin is known for carrying a wide variety of English type roses, like that old English rose look. They do look very elegant and timeless, and they are pretty popular, so they can sell out, which is why I ordered it back in October online. And even in October, there were still quite a few that were sold out. So I actually got a tree rose from them, a bare root tree rose, and it came in this giant box. Obviously, gotta fit the tree rose in it. It's very pretty, has roses on it. So it also came with this stake, which this is a very hardy stake. Most of my other tree roses are not on a stake this hardy. And of course the rose also came. So here's the top with the tag. Let's see. It's the one I got. David Austin. Good sized tree. And it came, wrapped in this plastic. I took the plastic off the top just so it could breathe, but I kept it wrapped, the roots wrapped, just to keep it moist. You can see it still has condensation on it, so still moist. I will want to soak these just because it was in packaging and transported. I am gonna probably soak this in a bucket of water, maybe a little longer than I usually would. It's a pretty hardy looking rose though. These roots are quite large, so I'm excited about that. So overall, I think the packaging and the shipment went very smoothly, other than it was delayed. Here in Phoenix, there is a nursery called Barrage, and they do carry quite a few David Austin roses. I don't know that I've ever seen the tree roses there, the David Austin tree roses there. But they do have, around this time of year, February, March, they typically have the David Austins in containers. So I have done a video in detail on how to plant a bare root rose. So if you would like to see or know step by step exactly how to plant a bare root rose, I would check out that video. So in this video I will show you, where I'm going to plant this rose and how it looks and how I get this staked and tied up and everything. And let's get started. So this is the area where I want to plant my little tree rose. It's kind of in a crowded area back here, but I have wanted to put something back here for quite some time. You can see I have the loop for the soaker hose around here, and hopefully it looks good. It'll have two roses in the front, and then this is a David Austin climbing rose next to it, and another David Austin climbing rose, Sunny. And on the other side there's this other David Austin climbing rose. So hopefully it just looks like a big floating ball of roses back here. So here you can see I am soaking this rose in water. The roots did not fit all in this bucket, so I'll have to rotate it around. You can see some of these. I'll probably clean up some of these, so I am going to trim up these roots a little bit before I plant it. This was damaged shipping, which is fine. So I'm going to give these a little bit of a trim. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear the top layer of the decorative rock, move that out of the way, and then I will dig my hole. So this is a very tight spot to try and dig and plant a rose. I was hoping to get this a month or so ago when I had trimmed everything back, so there would be less rose thorns in my way, but it's okay, I'll manage it. It's just going to take a little bit longer to try and squeeze in here and not smush every single rose in the way. Okay, now that I'm done digging my hole, I am going to go get some mulch and I am going to build a little cone for the bare root rose to sit on. And to moisten the mulch and to make it so it's malleable to make the cone shape, I am going to wet it with some water from a hose. So I made the cone, it looks pretty good, but it just needs to be a bit wider, so I will add some extra mulch. Alright, so I've got the little cone built. It maybe could be a little bigger, but it'll work. So before I put this in and bury this, I'm going to put this stake in the ground. That way we're not burying it and then shoving the stake through the roots. That's not desirable, and this stake is really large. So I'll take this out and I'll see about getting this stake in the ground. Okay, so here it is with the stake in the ground. So I just hammered it in. The cone is helping to support the roots, plus this stake is also supporting the trunk. So I think that looks good. And now what I'll do is I will backfill with some mulch about halfway to 3/4 of the way up, and then I will do the native. So the packaging did come with like a little band to secure the rose trunk to the stake, but I don't know where I put it. So I'm just gonna use my regular twisty tie. So here it is, the final product. You can see I did step on that. Oops. But I didn't. It's not terrible. This one's not too bad. I was able to clean this up decent enough, I think. And then here's the twist tie. Don't make sure you don't want it too tight. Just tight enough that it's not sliding down. And I put another one down here just for good measure. So there's the little tree, and I hope he blooms. You can kind of see he's got some that look like they may grow here, there. Wherever this came from, I'm sure it was much colder. It's like 80 degrees right now, so hopefully you'll start putting on some growth before it gets too hot here in the summer, and I will update you on how he does. It also came with this stake, which this is a really nice stake. It's really thick. Yeah,